Tom here with the crack. He turns, he sees this, and then we come down. Nice one up here. And we come down.
On a movie set, you're reacting as the actors do to what's around you, so the general environment is very inspirational, and the general environment at least tells me where to put the camera and how to stage the scene. I prefer, frankly, making things up as I go along, right there on the day. I mean, that's the way I've done, I think, my best work, is just to really conceive stuff without any preconception. But George Lucas really inspired me to do previs.
And to animate all the storyboards. So the storyboards are moving electronic digital storyboards.
So many choices. It's okay. Just gives me every angle on the town. I can figure out what to use and what not to use.
On this movie, I pre-visualized everything that involved the special effects.
And what's difficult in prevising is I can make all this stuff up, but when I get to the practical set, everything changes. And often the previs doesn't apply because the set is so, different than what you put into the computer. So what we're doing, so I don't have to go through that, exercise in futility almost, is to don't design the sets until the pre-visualizations are done, so there'll be no surprises on the day. And you get to the set, and hey, it's familiar to all of us. It's what we studied and conceived right here under this ugly fluorescent lighting, and that will be the result. So that's a whole other way of working, which I didn't really work this way before. And let me see the previous shot.
I got all the experts from ILM who had been working on episode 1, 2, and 3 for George, and with 3 wrapping up, I was able to take most of the team, Dan Gregorin and his unit, down from Northern California down to Southern California, and they first of all, they came to East Hampton, and they worked with me in August for the first 2.5 weeks, and then we moved everything back to Universal on the lot here at Universal, where DreamWorks lives.
I kind of like this better than what we have. I think we should conform our background to this, with this whole wall of people
just running down
here, and then rather than starting with the tripods there, let them kind of come up over the hill.
During pre-production, the very earliest stages of creating the pre-visualization, Steven moved his desk basically into our office. So that was really a lot of fun.
Everybody's working really hard, and I'm making my morning tea. Life is good.
It was very fluid, very loose. We were able to watch him create. He was able to watch us create what he was looking for. And it was just a lot of back and forth, a lot of fun and exciting stuff. And it really helped us, learn what he wanted, figure out what he wanted, and then give it to him right away so that he could see this thing developing and solidifying.
Next move.
You want to have the eye a little bit lower when he's looking left and right?
It could be a little bit lower. It could come down here and
I've got him
look
up
around
there
here.
looking around.
That'd be good.
That's where we essentially really did all the nuts and bolts of my exploring by kind of the hunt and peck method, what worked and what didn't work visually for me.
It would be good if it acted more like a cobra, and rather than just jumping back, it makes a kind of cobra-esque. It's like this more.
Okay.
So when it hears it, it turns and it goes into this sort of a pose.
Okay.
And then it kind of slithers back from whence it came.
Okay, I got you.
That was really, really important to explore it, not just the way I've been doing it for 30 years, two-dimensionally, with my own little thumbnail sketches, and then a professional artist comes in and redoes my sketches and makes them, understandable.
I defy you to tell me that that's a shotgun and that that's a man. I mean, it's just, or that's a hand. I mean, this is how Picasso started. He tried to storyboard a movie, didn't quite work out, so he became Picasso. Well,
but using the computer, I could three-dimensionally and in color just sort of dive my camera, kind of like having a digital techno crane, and being able to just push the camera and do impossible shots and design impossible shots that later I either committed to the production of those impossible shots, or I just said, I'll save that idea for another movie because I don't have that much time to finish War of the Worlds. And then suddenly this thing comes over the hill. The whole head of the tripod comes rising over the hill, at which point Ray turns and joins the other people in running down the hill. And from there, you go right here.
We often work from art department reference, stills, blueprints, any material that we can get our hands on, including the script or the book or whatever it happens to be. We then build all of these assets in 3D on the computer using a program called Maya, and we basically are able to create these entire worlds and fly through them freely. We animate the characters, we animate the cameras, we do everything that, say, a visual effects house would do, only we do it on a kind of a more basic level so that a director such as Steven or George can get in there and actually fly around, find their camera angles, explore the world, and make up shots that just come to them on the spur of the moment. It gives them a tremendous amount of flexibility to do wild and crazy things without running into enormous costs.
It was kind of a visual tool that allowed Stephen to express himself in a way that we could all understand, and then figure out departmentally how and who was going to do what.
I just know there's a priority on this because I got to get this to Vic Armstrong, and I have to get this to Dennis Murin, and we have to figure out where we make the blends between stage and location.
Every single time we had a sequence involving what had been pre-visualized, I invited all the actors over to the computer and I showed them the entire sequence. So they knew exactly the size of these Leviathan tripods that they're up against and where they are in juxtaposition to where the tripods are. And so they really had an appreciation. I mean, God, I wish I had that on Close Encounters, because the actors had to completely rely on my imagination, which wasn't even fully developed because I hadn't imagined some of the UFOs when I was directing the principal photography. I had just to say, well, it's like a big pie tin up there and it's large, it's from there to there. Yeah, I mean, it was so abstract directing the actors in Close Encounters. But at least here, all the actors had a visual reference. They could see what it was going to sort of look like when the film was done. And that was exciting to everybody.
Get going!